Hi friends, welcome to day 27, and today we're connecting to spirituality. And spirituality looks really different for everyone. For some it might be yoga, it could be just spending time at nature, it might be a specific religion, but I think connecting to a deeper sense of self as well as a higher being or entity is really important in life and our yoga practice. We touched on our physical body the other day, and we notice that we're not just our physical selves, there's something else. And a quote that I wanted to share with you today is, if you are destined for a spiritual life, you will see it everywhere. If you are not, it will be all around you and you will never see it. So I like this because we have the opportunity to have really deep, intimate, spiritual experiences with life, even when we might not even notice it. So through our practice today, we're really going to connect to just the higher being within ourselves, or a higher entity if that's what you believe in, and just going a little bit deeper. So we'll start lying on our backs today, and we will be doing half moon again, adding on a little bit more. So if you have a block or a water bottle, we'll just need one today. Come lying down on your back, placing one hand on the stomach and one hand on the heart. The legs can be out long or knees bent, feet on the ground. Slowly breathing in through the belly. And exhale, releasing the belly, pulling it towards the spine. Again, inhaling deeply into the stomach and torso. Exhale, releasing the torso and the stomach. One more time, inhaling deeply here. And exhaling. Extending your legs long and reaching your arms overhead, finding a full body stretch here. Inhaling here. And as you exhale, bending the knees towards the chest, the head comes up to wrap the arms around the knees. Inhale, lengthening everything out. And exhale back to center, pulling the knees towards the chest. This time as you lengthen out, you can keep the arms and feet off the ground if you'd like. And exhale, lengthening back to center, squeezing everything in, rocking side to side this time. And then slowly placing the feet on the ground again. Crossing the right foot over the left knee and pushing that right thigh away from you. If you can stay here, or you can wrap both hands around that left hamstring, pulling the knee towards the chest. Taking a few breaths here. You may be a very spiritual person, or you may not feel very spiritual at all, and that's perfectly fine. The purpose of today's class is just to connect a little bit deeper than our external body, whether that's to the soul, the self, or again, a higher being. Placing the left foot down on the ground. Placing the right foot down on the ground, and we'll switch sides. Left foot crosses over the right knee. Left hand can push that left thigh away, or you can wrap both hands around the right hamstring, pulling the knee towards the chest. Making sure to flex both feet to protect the knee joint. One more breath here. Bending through the knees and start rolling, rocking forward and back along the length of the spine. Take a couple rocks here, and we'll come up to a comfortable seat. Extending both legs out in front of you to start, we'll cross the right foot over the left knee, and you can keep that left leg extended, or you can bend the left leg in. Right arm comes up behind you, placing the fingertips on the ground. And then the left arm either wraps around that right knee, or the left arm comes outside of the elbow. The left elbow comes outside of the right knee. Inhale to lengthen the spine. looking over the back shoulder if the neck allows today. Slowly unraveling back to center, extending both legs long, shake them out a little bit, and switching sides. We'll cross the left foot now over the right knee, and that right leg can bend in or stay straight. Again, we just want both sit bones to be grounded down. Left arm raises up, fingertips come behind you, and then the right arm can wrap around or the right elbow outside of the left knee. Inhale to lengthen the spine. And exhale, twisting, maybe looking over that back shoulder. One more breath here. Slowly unraveling back to center, rolling over the knees and coming to downward facing dog. Pedaling the feet here, bending into one knee and then the other. Just finding a little movement, maybe nodding the head, yes and no. And as we come into the physical practice, see if we can stay connected to the spiritual self. Allowing the body to guide the movement, but the breath and the mind really guides our practice. On your next inhale, rounding the spine towards the ceiling and coming forward to plank. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Again, rounding the spine into cat when you inhale, tucking the chin to the chest, rolling forward to plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Last time, inhale, rounding the spine, coming forward, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walking the feet towards the top of the mat. Coming to a forward fold. Bending through the knees, inhale, raising the arms up, palms come to touch. And exhale, hands come through heart center. Inhale, raising the arms up. And exhale, hands through heart center, releasing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, placing the hands down, stepping back to plank, inhaling when you arrive. Then exhale, lowering with or without the knees. Inhaling into cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Raising the right leg up on the inhale. Bending through the knee, opening the hip, reaching that right knee towards the ceiling. Inhale to lengthen the leg. And exhale, placing the right foot down. Bending into the knees for a moment, finding a lot of length through the wrists all the way up to the hips. And then inhale, lengthening the left leg high. Bending through the knee and reaching that knee towards the ceiling. Inhale, lengthening. And exhale, placing the left foot down. Walking the feet towards the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Bending through the knees, coming up to chair pose. So feet can be hips width apart or toes touching, heels slightly separated. Raising the arms up to start. Weight is in the heels here, the toes can raise. See if you can sit the hips a little bit lower to meet the knees. Knitting the rib cage together in the front body to support the lower back and the shoulders release. Right arm comes back, left arm comes forward to twist in chair. You can look over that back arm if you'd like. Just make sure to check in with the knees so that that left knee isn't passing the right. Inhale, hands come to heart center. A little bit of balancing. We'll raise that left foot towards the glute. Bend into the front knee, step the left foot back and come to high lunge. Setting yourself up for a moment, you might want to walk that right foot out to the edge of the mat a little bit. That back heel is high. Coming into a twist now in high lunge, the right arm comes back, left arm comes forward. Inhaling here. And as you exhale, reaching that left arm forward, the right arm comes high. Just the fingertips touch the ground or come close. And inhale back to center. Exhale, fingertips come down, right arm raises, twisting. Inhale, back to center. Feeling the burn in that right leg. Left arm comes low, right arm comes high. Inhale, back to center, raising the right arm up to meet the left. Exhale, placing the hands down, stepping back to plank. Moving through a flow, exhaling as you lower. Inhaling as you open. And exhale, downward facing dog. Step or hop towards the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Bending through the knees, inhale, raising the arms, sitting the hips low to chair pose. Again, toes to touch or feet and knees, hips width apart. Left arm comes back now, right arm comes forward, trying to sit the hips a little bit lower. You can look over that back arm. Again, just making sure that right knee isn't wanting to pass the left. Just checked mine, and mine were trying to do that. Inhale, hands to heart center. Now raising the right knee up, or the right heel up towards the glute, bending into the front leg, stepping that right foot back, and setting yourself up for high lunge, raising the arms high. Take a breath here. Coming to the twist on this side. As you exhale, the left arm comes back, right arm comes forward. Inhaling. Exhale, the right fingertips reach towards the ground, the left arm comes high, and the inhale brings us back to center. Really strengthening into that left leg. Right arm comes low, left arm comes high. Inhaling back to center. Last time, exhale, left fingertips high, right fingertips low. Inhale, coming up. Raising the right arm and then the left. Exhale, releasing, hands down, stepping back to plank. Taking a slow flow if you'd like, taking your time. You can always take child's pose or downward facing dog. When you do arrive in downward facing dog, taking 3 breaths. Of course, you can do this in child's pose as well. Inhaling through the nose. And exhaling out the mouth. Inhaling through the nose. And exhaling out the mouth. Inhaling again. Exhaling last time. Step or hop towards the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Bending through the knees, coming into chair pose again, adding on to this little flow. Right arm comes back, left arm comes forward. Option to bring the left elbow outside of the right knee. Again, checking in with the knees. Or you can stay in that open twist we did before. If you're in the open twist, bringing hands to heart center, coming to chair. If you're in the prayer twist, stay here. Raising that left foot off the ground, pulling the foot towards the glute, and then slowly stepping that left foot back to high lunge. If you're in the prayer twist, opening up to a twist. And if you're in high lunge, right arm comes back, left arm comes forward. Inhaling here. Exhale, left hand comes low, right arm comes high. Just one time this time. Inhale, coming back to center. The right arm raises and so does the left. And then exhale into warrior 2. Gazing over the right middle finger. Flipping the front hand. Inhale, reverse your warrior. The left arm comes low, the right arm comes high. Exhale as you come up to center. Bending into that front knee, raising the left foot off the ground, and we'll grab the block, preparing for half moon. So options here are to stay in half moon. Again, you can pause and take this up against the wall if you want, really feeling the shoulder blades, the hips, and the legs against the wall. You can stay in the top of the mat here, or you can begin to move into revolved half moon. So in this pose, the left hand comes down towards the block, placing it towards the left side of the mat. The toes start to revolve down towards the ground, and then the right arm raises. Whether your hand is on the block or maybe even the floor, final option here is to bend into that back knee. The right arm reaches back, opening up through the chest. Whew. Being patient with your body, being kind and gentle. If you have the back leg, releasing it, raising the right arm up. Placing the right hand down on the block or the ground. Left hand comes down. We'll raise that left leg up for standing split. So bending into that front knee as much as you need. If you'd like a little more balancing, the right hand can come to the calf. Maybe the left hand as well. If you have a mantra that you've liked through this whole 27 days, maybe calling on that now, tapping into that spiritual side of the yoga practice. Slowly placing the left foot down, bending through the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bending through the knees. Inhale, raising the arms all the way up. Hands come to heart center, closing the eyes for a moment. Some of the mantras we've touched on, if you want one for the other side, are inhaling truth and exhale, letting go. Another one that I love is fear is a powerful force, but so am I. Another one that I love, we haven't touched on, but we will in a few days, is I am enough. Inhale, raising the arms up. Palms come to touch. And exhale into your forward fold. One last round of flow. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, stepping back to plank. Moving through a flow, taking your time, exhaling as you lower, elbows pulling in. Inhaling as you open into cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step or hop towards the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Placing that block so it's close to the right hand now. Bending through the knees and moving into chair pose, sitting the hips low, raising the arms high. And then options here, again, the left arm can come back, the right arm can come forward. Hands can be at heart center with the right elbow outside of the left knee, choosing your twist here. Remembering to breathe. Bending into the right knee, pulling that heel towards the glute, stepping that right foot back, either reaching the arms high for high lunge or staying in the twist if you have the prayer. And then opening up into an open twist, left arm back, right arm forward. Making sure the hips are in alignment. We're not letting that right hip open to the right. Inhaling here. Exhale, the right arm comes low, left arm comes high. Inhaling up to center and opening into warrior two. Flipping the front hand, inhale, reverse your warrior. And then exhale into half moon, stepping that right foot forward. Maybe the left hand comes onto a block. You can also kind of experiment with just balancing through that left hand. The right arm is raised. Again, stacking that right hip over the left, right shoulder over the left, and the crown is an extension of the spine, flexing into those right toes. Option to stay here, or start to revolve your half moon. Toes start to point down, hips face parallel to the mat. Right hand comes onto the block and then the left arm raises. Staying here, or the final bus stop of bending into that back knee, left arm reaches back, pushing the foot into the hand to open up the chest. Extending everything long if you had the back leg. The left hand comes down onto the other block or the ground. The right fingertips come down as well. And coming into standing splits. Nodding the head yes and no. Letting the breath calm down. Again, coming into a mantra if you chose one earlier. Calling on that deeper self. Placing the right foot down beside the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, placing the hands down, stepping back to plank. And straight to downward facing dog this time, pedaling out the feet, bending into one knee and then the other. Setting the knees down for a moment, child's pose. Toes come to touch, forehead meets the ground. A while back, we talked about connecting to the mind, that inner roommate, one of them being kind of a fearful side, the other one being our stronger side. And I think that stronger side is really a representation of the spiritual self. See if you can allow that spiritual side of you, that voice in your head, to shine through the rest of practice. Walking the hands back, placing the knees on the ground, moving the hips to either side, extending the legs out in front of you. Coming to double pigeon pose. This is a really deep hip stretch. If you have a block, I recommend grabbing it, or even a pillow, anything you have at home. So we're crossing the right ankle on top of the left knee. And when you arrive, oftentimes this right knee will be pretty high. If you arrive and both knees are off the ground, I recommend just taking a cross-legged pose. If you are here in double pigeon, you can place a block underneath the knee to support it. The block can be low, it can be whatever you need today. Just being gentle, and of course, if you don't need the block, that's a nice variation as well. Wherever you are, inhale, lengthening the spine. And as you exhale, you might begin to lean forward, leading with the heart and the stomach. Again, it won't probably be a very drastic incline just because this is a pretty deep stretch. If you have room and you want to walk the hands forward in front of you, feel free to try that. But again, we don't want to push our limits. We've done a lot already today. Releasing the chin to the chest if you don't have it there already. And slowly walking hands back to center. Extending both legs out in front of you. And find a little bit of tapping. I like to use my fists and just tap out the legs a little bit. You can do the calves, the inner thighs, the thighs, and the outer thighs. You can even get into the glutes a little bit. And then we'll switch sides. So now the right leg crosses in front of you and the left leg crosses over that. Each side's probably going to feel really, really different, so just be gentle. You might need to use a different alignment for the block on this side, just finding what serves you best. Flexing the toes towards one another and inhale to lengthen the spine. Again, if this does not feel accessible, just come to a cross-legged position with the left leg in front. Inhale, lengthening the spine. And exhale as you begin to lead with the heart folding forward, maybe reaching the fingertips out in front of you. Releasing the chin to the chest. Walking the hands back through center. Releasing that block if you have it. Extending the legs out in front of you again. And just tapping a little bit more. These legs have done quite a bit for us in the last 27 days, so showing them some love. And then we'll scoot forward and come on to our backs. If you have the block handy, bringing it with you. Placing the soles of the feet on the ground. Pushing through the hands and feet will raise the hips towards the ceiling for bridge pose. Breathing here. If you'd like to roll the shoulders under, interlacing the fingers, reaching the hips towards the ceiling, it's a nice option. Last breath here, inhaling. And exhale, slowly lowering down, walking the feet out to the edges of the mat, letting the knees fall in. Walking the feet back to center, and then from here you can repeat bridge pose, or you can go into wheel that we did yesterday. If you're taking bridge pose, reaching the hips towards the ceiling and rolling the shoulders under if that feels good. If you're taking wheel pose, bringing the hands beside the head, fingertips pointing towards the heels, pushing into the feet and hands, raising the hips, the forehead comes to the ground first, and then extending the arms and legs. The forehead, of course, can stay on the ground, or you can just lift up the forehead just a little bit, but remember bringing the knees and elbows towards center. And then slowly coming down, tucking the chin to the chest first, and then rolling down. Walking the feet out to the edges of the mat and the knees come to center. One more breath here, inhaling. And exhaling. Feet come back to center. It's your choice. You can take bridge again, full wheel, or restorative bridge pose, raising the hips off the ground. The block comes under the sacrum. And it can be on the lowest or the medium setting. It's up to you. If you're wanting a stretch in the front of the hips, just staying here. If you're wanting a little bit of a release of the lower body, maybe extending one leg towards the ceiling and the other. One more breath here, inhaling and exhaling. Bending through the knees, placing the feet on the ground, raising the hips off of the block, and then finally walking the feet out to the edges of the mat, letting the knees fall in one last time. Walking feet back to center. Pulling the knees in towards the chest, rocking side to side one last time. And then extending everything long, extending one leg and then the other. Arms come down by the sides, palms facing the ceiling, and setting up for Shavasana. Allowing the breath to take over. Letting go of the physical self, the spiritual self, and just simply resting.
Begin by wiggling into the fingers and toes. And slowly start to deepen your breath. Bending through the knees. Rolling over onto either side, using the upper arm as a pillow for the head. Pushing your way up to any comfortable seated position, bringing the hands together in front of the heart. And just taking one moment to thank the universe or whatever higher entity you believe in for this beautiful, precious moment. For being alive and having the opportunity to connect to the self. Always know that the light and love within me is very, very honored and proud to witness the beautiful light and love within each of you. Namaste. Thank you all so much for your practice today. As always, if you want to connect with us with Yoga Vita, our new yoga community with interruption-free yoga, as well as other wellness videos, feel free to subscribe and also check out yogatx.org to get connected. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the mat tomorrow. Thank you.